What if the walls of our world are thinner than we think? Hidden in the windswept borderlands of Central Asia, a mountain shrouded in dread guards a secret older than civilization itself. This is Mount Dokkan, a place where geology and myth collide. For centuries, locals have avoided its tunnels, speaking of chains too massive for human hands, of stones that bleed, and voices that scream from the earth. But what if these aren't just stories? Ancient texts describe a prison for beings older than sin, a vault sealed with metals forged in divine fire. Tonight we ask, is Mount Dokkan the prison of Azazel, the fallen angel who taught humanity forbidden arts? Or does this mountain hold a darker, far more human truth? The answers lie in chains that defy history and a cave that breathes. To understand Dokkan's enigma, we must first confront its architecture, a fusion of nature and design. Carved over millennia by water and wind, its labyrinth of tunnels stretches deep into the earth. But these aren't mere geological quirks. Hidden within these limestone ribs are signs of modification. Walls smoothed by tools, tunnels widened with intent. Yet no civilization known to history claimed this desolate corner of Central Asia. Who or what reshaped these depths? Then there are the chains, 20 tons each, anchored not with bolts but fused into bedrock as if melted and poured. Metallurgical analysis reveals a crude iron alloy, yet the scale of craftsmanship defies known Iron Age capabilities. Some researchers argue they predate humanity's mastery of smelting by centuries. But the true mystery lies in these glyphs. Over 1,200 Anuki runes spiral around the shackles, a script unlike any recorded language. Linguists describe them as anti-lexical, their patterns resisting translation. One recurring symbol, however, appears across cultures, a spiral crossed by a horizontal bar. In ancient Sumer, this mark denoted imprisonment. In later occult texts, it signaled forces restrained. Could these chains serve as both physical and spiritual shackles? Carbon dating of mineral deposits suggests chains were placed here over 5,000 years ago, long before nomadic tribes roamed these steppes. But how, and for whom? The air itself deepens the mystery. Temperatures plunge to inhospitable lows as one descends, yet the chains remain eerily warm to the touch. Sensors detect faint electromagnetic fluctuations, patterns mirroring the bleeding stones above. Some theorists propose these tunnels were never meant to keep something in, but to keep us out. A warning etched in iron and stone from those who feared what slept below. Legends here are not just stories, they are survival guides. For generations, shepherds have avoided Dokkan slopes, whispering of a curse older than memory. But in 1987, a vanished flock led one man to breach the taboo and hear what lies beneath. He described a sound not of this world, a chorus of anguish that vibrated the bones. Others since have reported similar phenomena, guttural cries that peak at midnight, synchronized with seismic tremors. Recording devices capture only garbled static, but those who've heard it firsthand claim the wails trigger primal terror. Neurologists suggest infrasound may explain the physical reaction, yet none can account for the rhythm. The cries follow patterns, rising and falling like speech. But Dokkan's horror doesn't end there. Villagers speak of bleeding stones, boulders that ooze a thick, metallic liquid. Samples reveal iron oxide suspended in groundwater. Yet locals insist the fluid pulses alive. In 2019, researchers placed sensors inside the mountain. They discovered something unsettling. The bleeding synchronizes with the subterranean cries. Each wail coincides with a surge in electromagnetic activity, drawing iron-rich fluids upward like a macabre heartbeat. One theory posits that Dokkan sits atop a rare geological fault, where tectonic stress generates both infrasound and electrokinetic effects. But this doesn't explain the targeted nature of the phenomena. The bleeding occurs only near chains bearing the spiral and bar glyph, the same symbol linked to imprisonment. Even skeptics admit the mountain defies simple explanation. As one geochemist noted, it's as if the rock itself remembers trauma. But perhaps the most chilling account comes from a nomadic elder. The chains hold those who laughed at God. Their tears rusted the iron, and their rage still boils the stone. In the shadows of apocryphal texts lies a story too explosive for canon. The Book of Jubilees, a 2nd century BCE text rejected by many early religious councils, speaks of watchers, celestial beings who fell to earth, corrupted humanity, and were imprisoned in the depths of the mountains, bound with chains never to rise again. But here's where myth and mountain collide. Chapter 10 specifies that these chains were forged not by human hands, and that their prisons pulsed with the heat of their rage. Sound familiar? Azazel, the rebel watcher king, bears a chilling parallel. In Judaic tradition, he was cast into the desert beneath sharp stones for teaching humanity warfare, metallurgy, and occult secrets. The Book of Enoch, closely tied to Jubilees, even claims his prison wept blood and echoed with his curses. But why does this matter? Because the Ethiopian Orthodox Church, one of the few sects to preserve Jubilees as canonical, places Azazel's prison east of Eden in a land of desolation. Mount Dokkan lies precisely along ancient trade routes linking Eden's hypothesized locations in Mesopotamia to the Tian Shan ranges. Even more compelling, Jubilees describes the Watchers' bonds as inscribed with the names of their sins. While Anunnaki glyphs remain untranslated, scholars note recurring motifs, a flaming sword, a broken crown, that mirror Jubilee's catalog of Watcher transgressions. Could these chains be a physical manifestation of that ancient verdict? Metallurgists point to anomalies. The iron contains traces of platinum and iridium, metals found in meteorites. Some researchers theorize the alloy was intentionally crafted from sky iron, a material often linked to divine punishment in Mesopotamian myths. Yet the most haunting question remains. If Azazel was imprisoned here, what of his promise in Enoch? I shall rise again, and my chains will become the swords of men. Is Mount Dokkan a tomb or a ticking clock? Mount Dokkan's secrets are more than relics of myth. They mirror dilemmas we face today. The Watcher's tale warns of knowledge unmoored from wisdom. Azazel, the rebel teacher of forbidden arts, embodies a timeless truth. Power without ethics breeds ruin. Consider the chains. Their unyielding iron speaks not just of imprisonment, but of containment. Some researchers suggest they symbolize humanity's need to bind its own destructive impulses, a lesson echoing in debates over AI or genetic engineering. Yet Dokkan also challenges our arrogance. The mountain's bleeding stones and cries defy categorization, neither fully geological nor supernatural. They remind us that some mysteries resist dissection. As one philosopher notes, not all truths are tools, some are mirrors. For explorers and scholars, this demands humility. The Ethiopian Orthodox Church preserved Jubilees not as dogma, but as a cautionary lens. Their approach offers a model: investigate rigorously, but let awe temper ambition. Practical takeaways emerge: interrogate motives. Are we seeking understanding or dominion? Listen to oral histories. Shepard's warnings about Dokkan proved eerily prescient. Embrace paradox. Science and myth can coexist as overlapping narratives. The Watcher's prison also invites personal reflection. What chains do we cling to? Outdated ideologies, unchecked desires, and what leaks from our unexamined depths? Mount Dokkan teaches balance. Its chains bind chaos, but its tunnels whisper. Curiosity must walk hand in hand with reverence. As we peer into black holes or ancient tombs, that duality may be our compass. Mount Dokkan does not answer. It simply is, a riddle carved in iron and stone. For 5,000 years, its chains have held fast. Its stones have bled. Its corridors have echoed with cries that defy explanation. But the greatest mystery may not lie in what it imprisons, but in why we feel compelled to seek it. Are we drawn here to uncover a divine warning, or to confront the darkness we sense within ourselves? The Watcher's myth, preserved by the Ethiopian Orthodox Church as a moral compass, offers no easy truths, only a mirror. If these bonds truly hold Azazel, the architect of humanity's corruption, then his prison is also our inheritance. Every war, every unchecked ambition whispers his name, yet the mountain endures, a silent judge. So we leave you with this: the next time you wield knowledge like a weapon or dismiss a legend as mere folly, remember Dokkan. Some secrets are not meant to be solved. They're meant to be felt. Stay curious, stay wary, and if you dare to delve deeper, subscribe. The next mystery awaits.